Hey y'all, it's your girl Danielle Ty. Tuning in this thing with y'all today. You know what I'm saying? With the new look, straight hair, new place, look, acting brand new. No, but anyway, we out here on the patio. It's raining, it's birds chirping. I feel like I'm in a tropic somewhere, but no, I am in North Carolina. What? Anyway, today this video was requested and I was gonna make one about it before, but I thought nobody would be interested. But I thought about it, in the world that we living in today, a lot of people are raising mixed children and all these things, so maybe it can help you better understand where they coming from and just see how, the mind of a mixed child. Okay, so let's get into it. As crazy as it may sound, when I was growing up, I did not consider myself mixed. Like, I've never just been like, oh yeah, I'm mixed. Oh, I'm mixed. Like, although my mom was black and my dad was Chinese, in my house, it wasn't like a clash of cultures or anything, okay? Like, so let's go back to like when I first knew that I was, knew I was different or mixed, right? The main thing I remember from being little is two things. I was walking home with my brothers and his friends one day. They was all older than me. I was the youngest one, and they say, Danielle, tell them what you is. What is you? What is you? And I was like, I'm Chinese and brown. And they was like, what? No, Danielle, you Chinese and black. And I was like, no, I'm not. When I color, I use the brown crayon for my mom. She not black. And I used to get mad because I was thinking like it has so much to do, like every other race got a name to it, but African American is black. And I wasn't feeling that. So I'm like, I'm Chinese and brown. I don't care what y'all talking about. And they made fun of me for that for years. And the second thing I remember, when I knew I was a little bit more different than other people, it was simple. It was the set 9 testing or whatever, and you had to circle a bubble which race is you. And I used to do both. And then the teacher would call me up and be like, Danielle, you can't mark both. And I'd be like, well, I'm not one or the other, so they need a bubble for me. This is even before they had the bubble where it was like 2 or more races. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when I was younger, every year my teacher would tell me to leave it blank. I would have to go to the office and we would have to talk about it. And then from there, I learned that I had to choose the most dominant race, which is what your father is. So they taught me from there to use Asian. And the other day, my dude was even laughing at me because when we used at the DMV, she was like, what's your race? I was like, Chinese and black. And she was like, other. I'll mark you as other. And I was like, shit, at this point, I just let somebody else choose because I'm not more one than the other. But we're going to get more into that in a minute. So classically, people, when they find out that I'm Chinese and black, they usually think that my mom is Chinese and my dad is black. But it being the opposite changed the whole dynamic of my house. Like, I mean, it go from if my mama was Asian, and I'm not even trying to be like this, but the house gonna be smelling like rice and we take our shoes off at the door. That ain't this type of household. Complete opposite. We eating neck bones, roast, pig feet. We doing all of that. We ain't gotta take our shoes off at the door. But my dad is not the classic Asian dude that you're not gonna think. He not like, did you do your homework? He like, Danielle, did you do your homework? Like, what's up? What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody used to say as I was growing up, like, your daddy black. Your daddy is an Asian man. Wait, no, a black man stuck in an Asian body. They always said that. So honestly, growing up for me, it did not feel like I was Chinese. Like, I knew I was because obviously outer appearance, but on some real, like, it just did not feel like that to me. As far as speaking Chinese, my dad never wanted us to hear him speak it. We never spoke it. Never met any of my Chinese family. Don't know none of them. Like, it's completely separate. I know no information about my Asian culture, history, family, nothing like that. So in my eyes, I was raised by black people. And then, I hate talking about like the struggles of a mixed person because it's like people, even if you say it like that, people gonna look at you like, struggles, what struggles? Y'all got it easy, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, at the end of the day, something that I really do realize is that those struggles is all internal, like, I mean, I feel like people that heard it before, like not feeling black enough, not feeling whatever enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, not feeling black enough ain't never been a problem for me. I'm sorry. I just never have. I'm never like, black people ain't never even made me feel like that. Like, from what I realize is that black people is the most like welcoming people. Like all my family who I done met, they be like, oh, come here, this my cousin, oh, this my little Asian cousin, this my little da 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 da. You feel me? It was always love. I never met my Asian family, but when I started kicking it around a lot of Asians as I was growing up, they were the ones who was always trying to be like, oh, you need to come to our side and da 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 da. So honestly, I mean, like one of the biggest struggles for me was just honestly like, what is the word, like not allowing people to put me in a category or put me in a box. Oh, you think you better than everybody else. Oh, you think you so cute. Oh, you think just because you light skin with good hair. It was always the stereotypes of what other people wanted to put on me. Like, and I think that was low-key a struggle because I never wanted to make it seem like I was trying to be that way. So I would always downplay the things that I was trying to do. I never wanted to be like, I mean, I'm not that type of person, but I would just stay as far away from it as possible, as far as being like, oh, you know, like good hair, or like, I don't know, just like what shit, what else? I don't know. Maybe that's my biggest struggle, is being mixed, but only know on one side of my one part of my race. I mean, yeah, like when I've gotten drunk, I'll be crying like, I don't know my Asian side. But that still didn't stop the Asian jokes. Oh, you can't drive, that's that Asian. Or, oh, you real smart, that's that Asian. Or, oh, you da-da-da-da-da, that's that Asian. But at the end of the day, I love who I am. I love growing up, seeing two different races, completely opposite, come together. And especially with my mom being black and my dad being Chinese, I know it was different and I enjoyed it. I like that. I grew up to be a strong black and Asian woman. One of the main things that people always be like is like, when they hear it, they be like, yo mama, what? Your mama black? Your daddy Chinese? I be like, yeah. And my daddy, you know, I got my other siblings and they be like, well, what is they? I be like, she black too. They be like, oh shit, your daddy got game. Either way, I love y'all. Stay tuned for the next one. Hit the like button. I appreciate y'all tuning in on these videos. And stay tuned in with your girl.